morning. Good morning, I'm Jason, and we're talking about guitar this morning. We are working on the morning ritual for guitar growth together. Kevin's here. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, and good morning, Mark. And I just wanted to get myself set up. I'm running a little bit behind this morning, but that's okay because that happens. I want to talk a little bit more about fingerstyle today and some basic approaches. So if you stick around to the end, we have a really great simple plan to follow. Yeah, that's right. Simple plans. Simple plans. So let's go ahead and see what's going on one more time through the old turn buckle. See what we can drum up for leverage here. Good quality breathing going on, and just working on a good quality attitude to begin with. That's about all I got, you know. So I'm just tuning up, and if you're just tuning in, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth, and this morning ritual is brought to you by Mr. Metronome. And Mr. Metronome is usually linked in these video descriptions. If you need to purchase one, we are at 60 beats per minute. We also feature the tuning fork, the A440 tuning fork, the Martin D X2E, which is sort of now, I guess Mr. Billy Strings has signed on to this model guitar, which is good news. And so the DX2E can be purchased usually through an affiliate link here as well. And the capo. We've got a Page capo that sits right here. It lives right here on the top of the guitar neck. And that's that little clamp is really supremely helpful. Always there when you need it. You never know. I think we're pretty close to being in tune. We're going to call it close enough. Let's go ahead and just get kick started here. I use the stereo humidity packs. Oh yeah. It's amazing that my guitar is rarely out of tune. That's good to know. So let's go ahead and start with this. 1E and a 2E and a TE and we're off. We've officially begun the morning ritual for guitar growth. Just kind of taking our just a moment to enter the flow state, if you will. So we're just working on what it takes to get there. So I trust you had a good day yesterday. I hope everyone's and I hope everybody's receiving good news and good grace. And we'll take these moments here to. I don't know if you were all setting your own intentions for the morning ritual for guitar growth, but I still set intentions internally, and I don't typically tend to prompt that, but I'm going to prompt it today because without what am I practicing for this morning, so I can work a little bit I can work some of that out in my mind, so your intention, the morning ritual intention could have to do with the guitar, it could have to do with something in life that we need to get done, take care of. It could just be anything we want, but it should be framed as a good, sort of a good thought, So let's go ahead and think about that, and we'll focus on that for the duration. We'll come back to it at the end as we close up. So now we're working through fingers 2 and 3, and you can see that there's a little bit of a gap here. You can see that there is a stretch, there's a finger stretch here that we're actually moving beyond that contiguous fret relationship to just incorporate a little bit of a stretch. And I know if you were here at the beginning of the year when we started this, that was a real problematic area for me, like a real problem. So we're coming along, we're making some progress here and there. Yeah, humidity packs are great. Keeping the room between 45-47% is really a good thing to do as well. So if you can control the room or the environment that you're living in with a hygrometer, and some sort of humidifier, some way to control your environment. The guitars like to, I know a lot of shops, like custom shops like Bourgeois, will keep their wood, they'll store their wood, that's their lumber, at 45% humidity. And so in the Northeast, we in the winter get right down to like 11% or less relative humidity. So, it's not really a great environment for guitars. So we do need to, I do need to be mindful of all of that stuff. I'm already out 3 fingers. All right, man. All right, Mark, gotcha. Let's stay on track. I got it. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I like to get the job done. I like to get the job done. So here's the saying, I like to do it nice because I'm going to do it twice. Yeah, and we're just working the old 4 attack per beat angle here. Hero, come on, play Beatles. All right, which Beatles song are you interested in? Which Beatles tune? So fingers 1 and 3 on 9 and 12. Hey, good morning, Jill. Good morning. You're catching us at the fingers 1 and 3, and we're moving along. We're moving right along, getting ready for fingers 1 and 4, that big stretch. So. We've got a request for some Beatles here this morning, and I wonder what song, which song that we're interested in looking at. Love the Beatles. I know I've spoken with people who don't like the Beatles, but they are few and far between and completely entitled to their own opinions about things, you know. Did you know if you play a D triad followed by an E triad followed by a D triad followed by an E triad followed by a D followed by an E triad, we have all of the characteristic tones of the 𝗵𝗂𝗶𝘁𝗿 mode, or D-Lydian mode, 𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗁 with an E bass. So we're starting with just the E, you know, the G sharp, B, and then E, and then the D chord, which has, of course, the A, the D, and then the F sharp. So if you put those two, the conglomeration of those two chords together, we have an E, F sharp, G sharp, A. We do have a B, we don't have the C sharp, but we do have a B, a D, and then an E, and then F sharp, and then G sharp. So we have all of the color tones of the Mixolydian mode. That really powerful modality in music, especially for guitar players, you know. So think about, you know, fire on the mountain, So that's that. Jumping back into it, fingers 1 and 4, and you can see that I'm procrastinating, just trying to prolong the arrival at the 1 and 4 stretch. Did we ever get a response from the Beatles request? I don't think I saw a response. Marco's on board. Marzak, good morning. All right, so there we go. So I guess what we're doing is, let's see, I think I missed the... Yeah, I did miss it. 4 days left on the track. Yeah, there's a really cool tune. You ever heard of Yonder Mountain String Band? This is an older version. This is great truck drive. This is great when you're on the American road. So let me just play a little bit of it for you. It's let me just see if I can translate it into 60 beats per minute so we don't have to turn the metronome off. So we have this, it leads off with this really cool E minor, and there's a little kicker at the beginning, which is a hammer on from G to A. E minor, C, and then G.
sun in California. Heard mountain winds, they howl and moan. And I've seen that half moon rising up above. Heard the sound of the train that'll carry me home. I've been a roaming, been a rambling. 30 days in a row, and baby, I'll be home soon.
So it's a Rambler's Anthem. Rambler's Anthem. You can go check out Yonder Mountain. Yonder Mountain's just a really, really great band. And that'll get you started. That'll get you started right. Dig into their older stuff first. You know, get through some of their live stuff. Yonder Mountain String Band. They're really great. All right, you're gonna love them, Marco. All right, so where are we at? 3 fingers. You gotta catch up to Mark here. 1 E and a 2 E and a D E and a 4 E and a. Here we go. I'm feeling a little bit like, you know, this is one of those mornings where I'm sort of like loosely connected to anything that's going on for some reason, you know. Not sure what it is. Maybe we're going through some, you know, we're flying through something in the cosmos or something, you know. Who knows? But we'll work on focusing, dialing it in here. It wasn't Beatles, but it was pretty cool. You know, Yonder Mountain String Band's always got something fun to say. Let me know when you get to the song where he says, "It's like the sweater that you wear on the inside." Hey thinker, what's going on? I see that there was a message retracted. That's cool, you know, govern thyself. If you're here, if you're tuning in and you haven't visited yet, if you have not visited yet, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason. I'll be your host for the morning, should you choose to decide to stay. And we're working through guitar. We're just playing the guitar together. We are warming up with the guitar together. Of course, we're alone, likely, but we're together here on the interwebs, and we just have seat time to spend down together, just getting with the guitar in the morning. This is literally my morning ritual for guitar growth. It's a warm-up pattern that I do, you know, every day, every weekday morning here on YouTube at 7:30 a.m. with you for the entire year of 2025. Good Lord willing, you know. And we work through all of the 2-finger permutations, the 3-finger permutations, all of the 4-finger permutations. So you can rest assured that it's a pretty balanced sort of approach for the guitar practitioner as we proceed or progress into finding our own voice on the guitar, right? That's largely in part what this is about. It's about finding our own voice, you know, taking what's come before, listening to that, absorbing it, and then, you know, formulating a composite synthesis of all we've heard, everything we've seen and learned, putting it back out into the world through our own filtration system. So really cool process we're engaged with, you know. Rented the garage for 2 months next to a farm out in the sticks. It's cool to get out of the city. Oh yeah, it's great to get out of the city, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, brother. Yeah, I'm with you. Further away, the better. But you know, there are some benefits to being right in town, so to speak. So 1 and 2 and 4, and we're still submerged into the. We're still in relationship with the 3-finger grouping. So let's go ahead and use the right words here. So we're using fingers 1 and 2 and 4 at the moment, and I'm going to start with just kind of mixing up the finger shapes a little bit so we don't always feel, so we don't sort of adapt to doing the one thing the same way every time. So I'm using fingers 1 and 2 and 4 and then rolling to the next smaller string or upper string or lower string with 1, 2, 4 and then 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 2, 1. Or we could use 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. And those patterns are good to, you know, sort of help us be prepared for any eventuality that we might encounter as we're learning music. You know, learning songs that we want to learn, or learning pieces of music that we wish to make our own. But for me, this is sort of like building that spiritual bond that house not made with hands, you know, eternal in the heavens. Just maintaining that kind of relationship with fingers 1 and 3 and 4 at the moment. And it's just, you know, we're passing through some time together, me and my guitar. I'm thinking like Tony Rice when I said me and my guitar. Fingers 1 and 2 and 3. I think I'm in 6 attacks per beat. Here we are back in 4 attacks per beat, and just working with tone a little bit more, and wondering a little bit about tone. Just, I don't know if you all saw our friend Raul's one of his latest videos on his channel, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's blindfolded himself and worked through a practice session blindfolded. So I thought it was kind of cool. It was like watching Rambo tie his headband on, but only he put it over his eyes instead of his forehead. And instead of being armed with you know, whatever, you know, you can just go a saw. He's armed with his guitar, his 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I thought it was a really cool video to look at. So nice work, Raul. Nice work wherever you may be. All right, 1 and 2. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are. 1 and 2. You know what to do. There's a really cool, I don't know if you have we done it? I don't know if we've done this here or not. There's a really cool fiddle tune that's a lot of fun to learn. It's a tremendous amount of fun to learn. It's called Devil's Dream. And I don't know if we've done this together or not, but it's a really great piece of music to learn. It's super easy to learn, but it's one of those that works the pinky finger. Right? It gives the pinky finger a reason to be. And I love pieces of music like that you know, give the pinky finger something to do, you know? Because after all, we are, you know, many of us here are likely, you know, 4-fingered guitar players. And if you're not, that's cool, you know. I've met a few of us who have had the oddball happenstance where we only have 3 fingers left. Or Django Reinhardt, he only really had 2 fingers to work with, right? And so we're going to still play the guitar. You know, all of these exercises would still be doable with 2 fingers, right? Because we're practicing all of these things, right? With fingers 2 and 3. if you ever wanted to get into that discipline where, you know, you play only with 2 fingers, we're moving really quickly through the 2-finger exercises, you know, all of those things. But all of those permutations, any of those finger groupings that we actually work on, could actually be functional finger patterns, right? So we haven't really gotten into that in the warm-ups, but it's really important for me to appreciate each finger grouping as it's their own entities, right? And we'll get into that a little bit more later. I think it's a pretty easy thing to understand. But let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and let's go up, let's bump it up to 5 attacks per beat. 2, 5, 1, 2, da 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 1, 2, T, 4, 5, 1, 2, T, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. After a while, we can start to feel the accents occur on 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stretch. So same 9, 10, 11, and 12, but we're kicking it on up to finger 4 on fret 13. We'll just continue ripping through this. So 1, 1, da, 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 da. Focusing on shaping the tone with the picking hand, rolling the pick over the index finger with the thumb. Try some 6s. I-O, it's off to work he goes. Yeah, it's great to see you, Mark. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing this moment. Happy picking, man. Happy picking indeed. Indeed, Lou Wheatley. start with a little bit more like. Oh yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, people. I appreciate that, Mark. All right, so we'll come back to Malagueña a little bit. I like to use it as a picking exercise too, as you know, because it helps to open up the picking hand a little bit to learning more and understanding more about approach vectors. So we have this D string referring to the high E string, and then we move up to it's basically a forward roll that repeats itself, and then, but in between each part of the forward roll, we have a reference that we make back to an upstroke on the high E string. So super, super easy, but it's not, it's not all easy, It becomes a little more challenging when we start to make that reach the low E string. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and do the kickstand. So we're starting in position number 9, niner, and kicking it back with the kickstand to position our fret number 8. We're reaching back to fret number 8, 2E and a TE. Here we go. 1C, a 2C, I'm putting on my shoes. Rambler's Anthem from Yonder Mountain String Band is just a great piece of music, Really fun band. I think that the original singer, mandolin player, is no longer with us, but he's passed. But you'll get a kick out of those older tunes, and then start with their back catalog, and you can proceed forward through it. You're gonna love it. Yeah, great young energy, youthful energy. They're starting to, the fingers are really starting to take shape here. They're really starting to become agile, and I think a lot of it has to do with the thumb placement on the back of the guitar neck. And you can see that I'm way down. I am way down here, like the thumb kind of kicks way down. And it's and then here's the kickstand, so you can see like the actual. Let's see what we can do. This is a better deal right here. So you can see the thumb is almost in the middle of the fingerboard, the two outside fingers. So it's the median here. It's just in the middle, and it helps to display or disperse or disseminate power through the entire fretboard hand if we can get that thumb position correctly and maintain that. So the thumb position, it's not like it just stays. When we shift position, the thumb actually, you can see the thumb. The thumb shifts with us every time. The thumb moves in parallel with the reference of the movement of the front of the fretboard. So that's a really, it can be a game changer if we weren't aware of that beforehand. So let's go ahead and do these 1, 2, 3, 4s. We'll just get through these 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do these in 5s. So 1 and dig da. So dun dig 1 to 1 to 3 1 to dun. Here we go. try the sixes here and see what happens. And one of the ways that we stay in tune and check with the metronome is we keep that red click, or usually the light works on the metronome. So we can keep that, you know, click in the peripheral vision, so we actually have a visual cue as well. So it's really all of these rhythms that we do, these subdivision, that helps with the stretching. Oh, good, good. Yeah, I thought maybe I should talk about that a little bit. We can talk a little bit more about that. So the thumb, if I'm in the middle of the guitar neck, I have to stretch. I'm just realizing this myself. But if the thumb is in the sort of the middle of the, we'll call 12 the octave for now, right? Some of us have 14 frets, some have 12 frets, some have different, you know, number of frets. So if I'm over 6th fret with the thumb, if I drop the thumb, that we'll call that the middle of the neck, the tritone area. I can reach all the way back to fret 1 and all the way up to fret 16 if I need to, without even changing position, right? So here's that at work, right? So we have and then we could so we have a lot of accessibility just by using that thumb sort of as a pivot point. You know, think about how Tarzan, what would Tarzan do? But let's go ahead and stretch just for now, just for a moment. I appreciate that feedback, Kevin. Anything that's helpful that you would like to discuss, and we can, I'm happy to drill down into those things as needed. I'm very happy to, because if I don't revisit those things, I might miss out on a cyclical sequence that would actually help me too. So I like to visit and revisit fundamentals as often as I can, because it helps me to be a more foundational sort of player, and sometimes I forget that. And sometimes it's like breathing and being mindful of breath and all of those things, just being mindful of the things that came before. I did some yoga this morning, so I'm pretty well stretched and ready to go, but this sure does feel good. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I wanted to run through this too. Like I need to start working through this with you guys as a warm-up. I'm doing some more scalar stuff. But positionally, you know. This is all part of my warm-up regimen that we haven't really even approached this yet, you know. Let me see if I have, I don't know if I can find, there was a video that may have the tablature that could help you with this, maybe. Let me just check, just briefly. Bear with me just one moment. All right, I don't see it, so I'll have to come back to that, guys. But so this is going to be basically moving through the, I think maybe we've covered it before, but I'm not sure if we've, I'm pretty sure we haven't yet absorbed it into our playing. So we'd move from C major to F major, and then to B flat major, and then E flat major, and then A flat major, and then D flat major, and then G flat major, and then back to the place from the shape from whence we came, only this time it's a B, right? So we're working through the cycle for, so it's just a great thing to do, and it gives us all of the major scale shapes that we really need to know and we really want to incorporate into our sort of foundational playing, functional foundational playing. So we play the chord first, and then the scale. And then the chord first, and then the scale. And then the chord once again, and then the chord of the next, the fourth up. And then E flat major, which is and then E flat to A flat major, and then D flat major, and then move up to G flat major. And then B major or C flat major. So all of those shapes are basically how we suture the entire neck together. Oh yeah, it's just, I'm just playing it through. It is a lot to digest, and I'm definitely, it looks like I'm losing people. But this is one of those things, Kevin, that takes, this will take some time to really absorb, and really it's a matter of, let's take one note at a time and build, you know, the do, the C, the do, and re, the mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and get all of those things in place, those finger patterns and those finger, you know, the picking patterns and all of those things in place, and then build eventually the 2-octave or the full pattern in each position. And then we can start working on, you know, integrating it into the, so that one pattern, that one shape, just to memorize that one shape might take a week. It might take 2 weeks. It might take 3 weeks. So this is a back burner thing. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7 different shapes, right? Before we get back to the first one. So 7 different shapes, and they're all sort of programmatically they're good for the guitar, right? They're good for the guitar player's fingers to play major, minor, diminished. You know, all of those scales live right inside of this one scale. So there's this really nice, well, I don't always need to begin on the first note of the scale. We can begin on the 7th note of the scale. Which gives us another scale or a modality of that scale to build off of. So there's a lot going on here, but it's doable. I thought I had the sheet ready for you. I'll try to have the sheet ready for you tomorrow. I'll text it to you later if I find it, Kevin, today, or email it to you. You can get started early on it. And it's a great one. It's definitely one of those things that we, patience and perseverance goes a long way. But anyway, now that we've been through all of those things, that notification that there's some bigger stuff coming and soon, we want to just talk a little bit about the E major chord. So what happens when we play the E major chord? We came at it from, we started talking about the D chord, the D triad, and then into the E triad, and then the D triad into the E triad. And frequently what we'll do as guitar players and musicians in general, we'll use 2 different triads. So for example, the characteristic sounds in the key of 𝗶𝗏𝗧 mode, or the tonality of 𝗶𝗏𝗧 mode, of the flat 7 chord followed by the 1 major, the flat 7 major followed by the 1 major. And if we were just focusing on only those 2 triads, and then inversions of those 2 triads, we start to become, sort of like we understand where these things are going to go. Now, without getting into the big narrative of mixolydian and how the E7 chord likes to resolve to the A chord, we'll start talking about the E major triad as its own entity, as it relates to a different sort of approach. So we're starting to think just forward roll. And one of the reasons why this particular Malagueña is so really good to learn how to play is we can really start using the thumb and really start exploring the thumb while creating a beautiful sort of musical pattern. Hey Sky, good morning. I see you there. So I'm going to think I can use a rest stroke where I pluck through the string and come to rest on the next smaller string, or I can use what's called a free stroke. rest on the next smaller string. Now I'm moving through the E major triad with a downstroke. I'm going to use the rest stroke for now. And I'm just going to start with a D string on fret 2, and then a G string on fret 1, open B, and then open high E string. So we have this forward roll where that E chord moves from that shape. It moves up, each finger moves up one string, parallel moving from the E chord major to the A chord minor. But it's really, it turns out it's really the F major 7 chord, right? By the time we don't put that third finger down just yet. So the finger, you can see my thumb is moving from A up to the C, open B, back to this A, and then open G, and then down to the F note, which leads us back to the forward roll of the E. Same thing on the low E string. So we have an E here, a G sharp, and a B, right? So we have also a low E string, a G sharp, and a B on the A string, fret 2. So E, open, low E, fret 4, G sharp on the low E, fret 2 on the A string, B. So E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, and then A, C, B, A, G, F. this is an opportunity too to just really start focusing on tone production and tone shaping with the finger style approach of your picking hand, right? So there's a lot going on there. So what happens if we started here, sort of somewhere else? It's a good idea for me to be able to play all of those ideas all over the guitar. So I can use like really cool triadic shapes here. And then this really nice descending scalar pattern. And then this gives us another approach to this, right? Right, so now we have other strings that we can kind of do other things with in the right hand, so that's good. Anyway, have a wonderful day, everybody. Say something nice to someone. That's a great idea, Kevin. Love it. Jason, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Until tomorrow, thanks for being here, Kevin. I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a super day today, everybody. And again, love it. We'll see you tomorrow. And until